Have you ever faced a decision so difficult, so impossible, that it felt like your heart was breaking in slow motion? That's where Elara was, standing in the shadow of the St. Jude Parish clock tower just before dawn. Her 6-month-old son, Leo, was the most beautiful thing she had ever known, but in her worn coat pockets, she only had enough change for one day's meal, and the biting November wind was a constant reminder of the cardboard box they called home. She had tried everything, exhausted every avenue, and now, fueled by a desperation that felt like the deepest kind of love, she was committing the ultimate sacrifice. She placed Leo, bundled securely in her last good blanket, in a laundry basket near the brightly lit church doors. Tucked beside him was a simple note. "His name is Leo. Please love him. Give him the life I can't." With a sob that she swallowed to keep quiet, Elara kissed his soft forehead one last time, turned, and disappeared into the relentless morning fog, believing she had just destroyed her own life to save his. Before we see how fate intervened in the most miraculous way, please take a second to hit the like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss how this journey of sacrifice comes full circle. The man who found Leo wasn't a stranger. He was Pastor Daniel, a kind, quiet widower who had spent the last decade pouring his heart into his congregation, filling the silence in his empty home with sermons and service. When he discovered the sleeping child, a profound, immediate connection snapped into place. It wasn't pity he felt, but a fierce, protective certainty. The police were called, the system initiated, but Daniel fought every rule and regulation. The challenge wasn't simply adoption. It was convincing himself, a single man nearing 50, that he was capable of offering Leo the stability and joy the note requested. The initial search for Elara yielded nothing, and as days blurred into weeks, Daniel knew. This wasn't a choice, it was a calling. He renamed him Leo James, welcomed him into the old rectory, and began teaching him the names of the clouds and the stories of the stars. It was Leo, with his infectious giggle and his relentless curiosity, who unknowingly saved Daniel, turning a life that had become routine into a vibrant, unexpected destiny filled with purpose and unconditional love. 7 years later, Elara stood again in the shadow of the St. Jude Parish, but this time, the coat was warmer, the wallet heavier, and the fear replaced by a quiet, aching longing. She was back in the city for work, stable, independent, and having built the life she had once dreamed of for Leo. She hadn't dared to approach the church, but she needed to see the building, just once, to know she hadn't imagined that terrible morning. As she watched from across the street, a boy burst through the church doors, chasing a soccer ball. He was tall for his age, with bright, laughing eyes and a mop of unruly brown hair. Beside him walked Pastor Daniel, his face alight with a paternal pride that radiated warmth. Elara didn't need a single clue to know this was her son. He was thriving, happy, and clearly adored. The challenge she had faced 7 years prior, that seemingly insurmountable wall of poverty, had been resolved, and the resolution was standing right in front of her, dressed in a bright red soccer jersey, holding the hand of the man who had become his true father. Their eyes met, Elara's and Daniel's, across the wide, sunlit street. In that silent, breathless moment, no words were needed. Daniel saw the recognition in her eyes, the years of pain, and the overwhelming relief. He didn't accuse. He simply offered a small, gentle nod. Elara understood. Her greatest sacrifice had led to her greatest blessing. She hadn't failed Leo. She had trusted fate, and fate had guided him to the perfect plan. She smiled, a true, peaceful smile, and turned to walk away, finally free. Her journey proved that sometimes, letting go is the most loving thing you can do, and the universe has a way of turning impossible decisions into miracles. Never lose hope. Your greatest plan might be hiding in your hardest moment.